is an ant on a leaf, and it is about to die in the exact spot it was told to. Not where it wants to, where something else wants it to. It climbs, not along its usual trail, not toward food. It leaves the colony, the safe, dark highways of its own species, and it goes up. A stem, a leaf. It stops on the underside, at a height that is almost never random. About a foot off the ground, where the air stays warm and damp and still. Then, it bites. It locks its jaws into the vein of the leaf, and it does not let go. Biologists call this the death grip. The ant will hang there, clamped, until it dies. And then, from the back of its head, a stalk will grow, and it will rain spores down onto its sisters, still walking the trail below. We call it the zombie ant fungus, Ophiocordyceps. And for a long time, the word zombie felt about right. A mind seized, a brain rewired into a puppet. Then researchers looked closer, and the truth was stranger than a stolen mind. They took infected ants apart in thousands of microscopic layers and rebuilt them in 3 dimensions, cell by cell, just to see exactly where the fungus was. They expected the brain. The brain is the obvious place to seize control. It wasn't there. The fungus had wrapped itself around the muscles. It filled the body, threaded between the fibers, even joined into a kind of network. Everywhere except the one organ we assume is in charge. The brain was left intact. Sit with what that means. The fungus does not drive the ant by taking its mind. It skips the mind completely. It grips the muscles directly and works the body from the outside, like a hand inside a glove. The legs that climb, the jaws that lock, pulled like strings. Which leaves a question nobody really wants to answer. If the brain is still in there, is the ant still in there too? Awake, aware, feeling its own legs carry it up a stem it never chose, toward a branch it has no reason to visit, to clamp down and wait for the end, and unable to stop a single step of it. We do not know, but we can no longer assume the lights are off. And this is not a clumsy death. It is staged. The biting happens around midday, many ants on the same schedule, as if a clock were keeping time. The height is chosen. The damp is chosen. The exact conditions the fungus will need to grow and spread. The ant has been walked to a stage, set in position, and made to hold still for its own filming. And here is how we know this is a strategy and not some freak accident. It has been invented more than once. There is a virus that infects caterpillars. It carries a tiny set of instructions that drive the caterpillar to do one strange thing before it dies. Climb up to the very top of the plant, out in the open, far higher than a caterpillar would ever willingly go. There, it simply dissolves and rains virus down onto the leaves its kin will eat. Scientists call it treetop disease. A fungus and a virus, separated by an ocean of evolution, both arrived at the same dark idea. Take a small life and make its final act a climb, up to where it can fall on everyone below. It is easy to watch this and feel safe. You are not an ant. Nothing is steering you toward a leaf. But notice what the ant quietly takes from us. We believe we own our movements because we feel like the author of them. The decision to stand, to reach, to walk out the door. It feels like it begins with us. The ant felt that too, right up until something else was doing the moving, And the feeling of being in charge just kept running anyway. A light left on in an empty room. The unsettling part was never the fungus. It is that a body can be driven and still feel like it is choosing. Something is always driving that body. We just tend to assume it is us.